Hi, YouTubers and wet shavers everywhere. It's MargaretGeorgeTune.com. I'm back with another Monday Morning Mailbag. Get yourself a cup of coffee, kick back, relax. Let's talk a little wet shaving and a few other things. What do you got this morning? Brand new coffee this morning, courtesy of Barry Bedford and the Shave Masters. Hang on 1 minute. Let me get a sip. That's really, really good. I like this one a lot. Again, from Sovereign Bean Coffee Company, their Washington Breakfast Blend. Boy, this is a good one. Yeah, this is a perfect blend for that morning cup of coffee. This is marvelous. My gosh, Barry, thank you very, very much. I want to thank Barry and all the Shave Masters. That would be Barry Bedford, Doug Embry, and John Bonham. Check out their Instagram channel, Shave Masters, the Shave Masters. They do a live stream every other Tuesday. And boy, they give away a lot of good stuff too. And of course, the mug this morning is Bucky's. This came courtesy of Barry Bedford. Barry, thank you again very, very much. Only fitting that we use the Bucky's mug when we're using a coffee that was gifted to the channel by Barry Bedford. Hang on 1 minute, one more sip. That is really, really good, and I hope you're enjoying a cup of coffee with me this morning. As we like to say in the channel, a good hot coffee, a trusty mug. Let the caffeine go to work, gentlemen. Absolutely, I'm getting a little bit ahead of myself. One more sip. Wow. That's really, really very, very good. And hey, if you're taking me along on your morning commute, thanks very much for the lift. Really do appreciate that. If you're tuning into the podcast this morning, thanks very, very much for listening via all those great streaming platforms out there like iHeartRadio, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, YouTube Music, YouTube, that sort of thing. Thank you very, very much. That's the audio-only version of the Monday Morning Mailbag in podcast form. So thanks very much for tuning that in. If you got your earbuds in and the volume up. Thanks very, very much. Well, I wanted to mention to you that tomorrow in the United States of America is Veterans Day. And also across the pond throughout the Commonwealth nations, United Kingdom, Australia, New Zealand, Canada. Let me get my list right here. It's Remembrance Day, and that is being observed in the United Kingdom, Canada, Australia, New Zealand, South Africa, India, and Caribbean nations like Bermuda and the Cayman Islands. So we just wanted to mention that tomorrow here in the United States is Veterans Day, and in those other nations, it's Remembrance Day. So we'll try to get a link where you can check out the information regarding both of those observations and holidays that are being observed tomorrow. And, you know, this is kind of a nice coincidence because we're using Washington, and George Washington was our nation's first president, also a patriot, and yes, also a veteran. Yeah, so, yeah, a lot of us forget that he was General George Washington, a soldier and a veteran. So, yeah, really a nice coincidence that we're using this one. And of course, the Shave Masters, they have their own coffee, courtesy of Sovereign Bean Coffee Company right there. Shave Masters, we've used this on the show as well. Really, really terrific coffee. So, again, my thanks to Barry Bedford, Doug Embry, and John Bonham, the Shave Masters, for the wonderful coffees that they sent the program. And again, Barry, thanks for the Bucky's coffee mug. Bucky, the unofficial ambassador of Texas, I guess you could say. Hey, let's get to some of these topics here, and we'll give you a quick rundown of what's going on today's show. There it is. Click, and the topics come right up. Boy, we got a great shaving tip from our very own Abene Samant. Abi, thank you very, very much. A terrific shave den visit. A family reunion shave den visit that came via viewer Scott Martin. Stay tuned for that. We got our usual round of reminders. We got some terrific refill comments, some awesome new wet shaving gear. Stay tuned for that, and some really, really great questions and comments. Some follow-ups in that as well. So, wow, just terrific to be with you this morning. Again, well, let me get the coffee mug right here. I hope you're enjoying a cup of coffee with me this morning. Great to be with you. Thanks so much for tuning in. Let's get the show kicked off like we do every week with a viewer morning shaving tip. Well, this morning's shaving tip comes from viewer Abene Samant, and he writes, "Hi Mark, another great Monday morning mailbag. Thanks for the shout out. I'm still recovering from the Blue Jays loss. I tell you, he was safe." Now, this is in reference to the World Series Game 7, bottom of the ninth inning. Blue Jays were up, bases were loaded, the runner was at third, and there was a hit into the infield to second base, and the second baseman bobbled the ball, fell backwards a little bit, threw it home to home plate for the force out. The runner from third slid. The catcher for the Dodgers, as he was reaching for the ball, he lifted his back foot off of home plate and then tapped it back down to make the touch. The question is, whose foot touched home plate first? Was it the catcher tapping back down onto home plate, or was it the runner sliding into home plate? Did his foot make it to home plate first, beating out the catcher's foot? It is so close. It is so close. And you know what? It's going to be debated for decades. It's now part of baseball history and baseball lore. Everyone is going to discuss and debate that particular play, because if he was called safe, Toronto would have won the World Series. But he was called out, and then the game went into extra innings because it was tied up at that point. It was a heck of a World Series, and Game 7 was a terrific, terrific game. So I don't think Toronto has anything to be ashamed about. Don't hang your heads. You guys played a great, great World Series, and it was great baseball. Great, great baseball, and I really enjoyed watching the World Series. You know what? It was so close. And I'll leave it to all the baseball aficionados and baseball historians and baseball writers to debate and discuss whether or not he was out or safe. I've seen a lot of great discussion on it online. And again, like I say, if there's any consolation to Toronto, you're now part of baseball history. That particular play is going to be talked and discussed and debated for decades and decades. It's part of baseball history now. All right, so I'm a Cleveland fan, believe me. I know how you feel, Abby, I really do. He continues here, on a happier note, I've got a shaving tip you and your listeners might find useful, especially you, since you keep banging your head. Over the weekend, I popped into the barber for a haircut. I had a bit of time before picking up my wife from her Pilates class, and since the shop was empty, I decided to treat myself to a shave as well. I have an excess of shaving software and hardware at home, but sometimes it's nice to pamper yourself. The barber gave me the classic hot towel treatment with the shavette, but here's the twist. At the very end, he dusted my face with Clubman powder and went over it with an electric razor. I didn't realize that could be part of the electric shaving routine, but it made a noticeable difference. A very smooth, not quite BBS, but more importantly, a completely irritation-free shave. According to Copilot, Clubman powder reduces friction. Its cornstarch base absorbs moisture and oil, creating a dry, velvety surface that helps your electric razor glide effortlessly. Lifts hairs. By drying the skin, it helps hair stand up straighter, making them easier to catch. Soothes sensitive skin. Unlike alcohol-based pre-shave lotions, it's gentle and non-irritating, ideal if you're prone to razor burn. So if you ever find yourself reaching for the electric razor instead of your trusty safety razor, some Clubman powder might just smooth things out. Keep up the great work, and thanks for helping keep our community together. Cheers, Abby. He continues here with a little bit of a PS. No need for a sketch, even though they are delightful. I have one you sent me from July 19th, 2021, plaque mounted in my shave den. Wow, thank you very much for that, Abby. I'm very, very honored to hear that. That's a terrific, terrific shaving tip. We happen to have Parasso powder, post-shave powder. This is a cornstarch-based powder, so I am going to try that tip with Parasso because it is cornstarch-based. This came courtesy of viewer Jamie Horn. Jamie, thank you very, very much. And we also have the Yardley Gentleman Classic. This is talc-based. This came courtesy of viewer James Sefton. James, thank you very, very much. This is another really, really good one. So we've got two options here, talc and cornstarch, and we'll use them both whenever we do a head shave with the electric razor. But it looks like I think I'm fully healed now. So I'm going to go back to a safety razor and see what happens. Safety razor, and I think the Omni shaver, and also the Moto razor that came courtesy of, I believe David Dart sent that. So yeah, we're gonna go back to blades is what I'm saying. So, but it's a terrific, terrific shaving tip. So there you go. If you have an electric razor, a little post-shave powder as pre-shave before you turn that electric razor onto your face, and you'll get a closer result. Abby, thanks very, very much. And again, glad to hear you already have a sketch. But if you out there would like an original signed George sketch, just send me a shaving tip. Send that shaving tip to mondaymailbag@gmail.com, mondaymailbag@gmail.com. And if I use your shaving tip here on the Viewer Morning Shaving Tip segment of the Monday Morning Mailbag, you too will receive an original signed George sketch. So Abby, thanks again for a terrific shaving tip. Really do appreciate it. Okay, it's time for a shave den visit.
Grab your favorite shave soap, whip it up, rich and creamy, fill your cup. Boom, lather. Hot towel ready, face feels prime. A classic shave, so smooth, so fine. 30 degrees, a light touch. Let the razor do the work, no need to rush. Shave like a pro, close and neat. A shave so smooth it can't be beat. Slap on your favorite splash, feel that glow. Shave complete, now you're ready to go. Oh, boom, shave complete, you're ready to go.
Well, this morning's Shave Den visit comes courtesy of viewer Scott Martin. And the subject heading of the email he sent to the channel reads, Family Reunion Find. And Scott writes, Hey Mark, the show is better than ever, so congratulations on that. Well, thank you very much for that, Scott. I really do appreciate it. But it's all due to the wonderful contributions of all the viewers out there. They make this show and channel possible. So I will pass along your thanks to them. He continues here, I just wanted to share a really unexpected vintage razor find for your Shave Den Visit of Sorts section. I live in the Silver Lake neighborhood of Los Angeles and recently went back to rural southern Illinois for a family reunion. I was staying in the small town of Carterville with my aunt and uncle. My Aunt Jamie is an antique dealer, and when the subject of wet shaving came up, she remembered she had, quote, a couple of old razors, unquote, in her garage full of antiques, and said I could have anything I could find. Well, not only did we find a couple of razors, we actually found 7 of them in fantastic shape, along with a few tucks of razors. In the collection was a Gillette Slim Adjustable from around 1962, 2 beautiful Gem Micromatics, a very old-looking Gem Open Comb, a Keen Cutter single edge with a green Bakelite handle, and 2 Gillette double-edged travel razors, one in stainless steel and one is copper colored. Needless to say, I was thrilled to come back home and add these to the Shave Den. Now, my challenge is to figure out how to load a blade into the Keen Cutter. I'm baffled by it. If you have one, you gotta show me how. Cheers, Scott. Scott, that's amazing. Now, first of all, what an absolutely wonderful find. Your Aunt Jamie is the best. You have got to send her. You have got to send her a wonderful, wonderful gift for that. I'm sure you've already done that, but I'm just going to mention it to you again, just in case you forgot. That is absolutely awesome. 7 outstanding razors. Wow. That is absolutely fantastic. That is great. Now, regarding the keen cutter, I don't have a keen cutter. And as a matter of fact, I think it's the first time I've ever come across a keen cutter razor. So I did a little bit of research on online using Copilot AI, and this is what it has to say. The keen cutter safety razor used a proprietary blade size that was not compatible with standard DE blades. So it's a proprietary blade. The keen cutter razor, particularly the vintage models, required a uniquely sized single edge blade, approximately 1.5 inches by 5/8 inch, which differs from the dimensions of standard DE blades. Users have noted that breaking a DE blade in half does not yield a usable blade for this razor, confirming its proprietary nature. Now, they also have some other notes here. The keen cutter razors were designed for a specific blade size, making them incompatible with modern DE blades without modification. Original keen cutter blades are rare, but occasionally available on platforms like eBay. Some users have attempted to modify other blades to fit, though this requires precision and care. Keen cutter razors were popular in the mid-20th century, and many users recall them being sold alongside blade stroppers for sharpening, reflecting a time before disposable blade culture fully took hold. If you're restoring or using a keen cutter razor, sourcing the correct blade or adapting a modern one may require some ingenuity. So some other finer points regarding keen cutter razors and the blade that will fit the keen cutter razor. It's a proprietary blade. Maybe you can find some on eBay. You might have to adapt one. I don't know how to do that. If there are any viewers out there that have some additional information regarding a blade to use in a keen cutter razor, please comment below and let us and Scott know. That's absolutely awesome that you were able to find that piece of razor history right there in your aunt's garage, and all those other great razors. Those are absolutely wonderful. So enjoy those razors, Scott. Those are great, great additions to your shave den. Let us know how the travel razors work, and also the Gillette Slim. Really, really terrific, terrific razor finds for your shave den. Thanks so much for sharing that with all the viewers today. Really, really do appreciate it. Well, here's your reminder to check out shavesplash.com. This is a website that was created by viewer Lee Meyer. If you happen to have a shave soap, but you don't have an aftershave splash for it, well, shavesplash.com is a scent matching website. So you'll be able to find a complimentary aftershave scent that will go with that shaving soap. Really, really terrific. And they also have some great articles and features up there. So check it out. We'll have the link below, shavesplash.com, from viewer Lee Meyer. Well, the channel now has auto dub technology courtesy of Google and YouTube. And as the name suggests, it will automatically translate this audio from English into Italian, German, Portuguese, Spanish, or French. Pretty amazing. Simply click on the gear in the lower right of the video screen. A menu will pop up, and there you can select the language that you wish to hear the audio in: Italian, German, Portuguese, Spanish, or French. It translates it from English to any of those languages in real time, on the fly. Pretty amazing. Auto dub. Check it out. Well, here's your weekly reminder that the Monday Morning Mailbag is also available as a podcast. Simply get up to your favorite streaming service and search for Monday Morning Mailbag and more, Monday Morning Mailbag and more, and the Monday Morning Mailbag podcast, as well as our other podcast, Second Cup, will come right up. Both of those podcasts are available on Anchor, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, YouTube, and now iHeartRadio. Well, what do you know? Coffee's getting low, that time of the show. Let's go back for a refill. Well, I hope you're enjoying a cup of coffee with me this morning. I hope you went back for a refill. I sure did. Hang on. Let me get another sip here. That is really, really good. It's not too dark and bold. It's not too light. It's right there in the middle. A perfect breakfast blend. Absolutely. Again, from Sovereign Bean Coffee Company, Washington Breakfast Blend. A big, big thank you to Barry Bedford and all the Shave Masters. That would be Barry Bedford, Doug Embry, and John Bonham for very, very kindly and generously sending along the Sovereign Bean Coffee Company coffees to the channel and allowing us to share them with all the viewers out there. And of course, they have their own blend right here, their own Shave Masters coffee right there. How about that, huh? Check that out. And they do a live stream every other Tuesday on Instagram. Check it out. It's a lot of fun. They give away a lot of great shaving gear. And yeah, they have a really, really good time doing a shave on camera and just talking wet shaving and giving away some great shaving gear. So check them out, the Shave Masters on Instagram. Barry Bedford, Doug Embry, and John Bonham. Gentlemen, thank you again very, very much. And again, this is a terrific coffee. Is it healthy? Well, if you want to know if this particular coffee is healthy, check out Mantic59's website, The Black Coffee Life, where he talks about all things black coffee and health. Is the black coffee you're drinking healthy? And he really zeroes in on talking about drinking black coffee and its health benefits. And also, check out the Lockhorn. Someday we'll look back on this and quickly change the subject. Hardcover, a great collection of Lockhorn's comic panels. And also, they have a calendar, the Lockhorn's calendar. It's the Lockhorn's 2026 Laugh-A-Day calendar. That looks like a great gift as well. So the book and the calendar make for some terrific, terrific gifts. We're coming up on the holiday season, so there you go. The Lockhorns book and the Lockhorns calendar, really, really terrific gifts out there. The Lockhorns, of course, by my friends Bunny Host and John Reiner. Okay, so we've got the housekeeping taken care of. So let's get to some of these refill comments here. Let's jump in with Jeff Palmer. He writes, great 3MB today. The maple bourbon sounded so good, I went and ordered the set. Thanks for the video and making the Monday morning after time change a lot better. Have a great rest of your week. Yeah, a couple weeks ago, we went from daylight savings time back to standard time, so we got an extra hour's sleep over the weekend. And maple bourbon shave soap and splash from Subtle Art Soap Company. We'll be talking about that again in new wet shaving gear, so stay tuned. Jeff, so glad you ordered the set. Let us know how you like it. Please feel free to send in a review. Beth Jones writes, good Monday morning, Mark. Dave brush handle and knot are a perfect match. Couldn't ask for a better color combination. Have a great rest of the week, Mark. Beth, agree with you wholeheartedly. Dave Wilson won that beautiful CB Brushworks brush handle, and he married it up with a knot that just looks gorgeous. It just goes with that brush handle so very, very well. Check out last week's Monday Morning Mailbag, where Dave sent along some photos that we showed everyone. Terrific. Just looks absolutely spectacular. I agree with you 100%, Beth. Thanks very much for pointing that out again. Andrew Hill checked in. Good morning. Great show as always. I enjoyed the new shave gear segment a lot. That soap company you talked about sounds nice. Have a great week. Again, Subtle Art Soap Company. Maple bourbon is an absolutely awesome scent. We're going to be reviewing that. But again, stay tuned for new wet shaving gear. We're going to be talking about them a little bit more. So thanks very much for that, Andrew. Rob Miller wrote, enjoy the coffee. Of course, last week we used Blackout Coffee Company's Smooth Finish. This was a light roast. This was very kindly and generously sent to the channel by Rob Miller. Rob, it's a great coffee. Thank you again very, very much. Folks, we'll link once more Blackout Coffee Company below, and we'll also link Sovereign Bean Coffee Company below, as well as the Instagram channel for Shave Masters and Barry Bedford's YouTube channel, A Texan Shaves. Yeah. All right. Charles Price writes, Mark, The brush you bought reminds me of a lighthouse. Oh yeah, you know what? Let me get the brush. Hang on, I'll be right back. I forgot to put it here. Hang on 1 minute. Yes, Charles, I think you are right. I thought it looked like a chess piece, but I think you're right. I think that looks like a lighthouse. This came from Indie Brushworks and was made by the artisan David Lair. He did an absolutely spectacular job on this brush. I ordered this from him when we were at the Ohio Wet Shavers meetup, and it looks absolutely gorgeous. And you know what? You're right. I think that does look like a lighthouse. Now, David kind of dubbed it the 3MB special. That's what we're going to call it. But the lighthouse is very, very fitting as well. I think that's better than calling it a chess piece. I think you're right. And you know what? Coincidentally, I really love lighthouses. I love all the pictures of lighthouses, and I sometimes will grab a lighthouse photo and use it as my desktop wallpaper. Yeah, I really like lighthouses a lot. So yeah, I think you're correct. Absolutely, Charles. Thanks very much for pointing that out. A lighthouse. Yeah, and it's a terrific shaving brush. Check out Indie Brushworks. David Lair does some absolutely outstanding work in creating these wonderful, wonderful shaving brushes. So thank you again, David, very, very much. And he also sponsored a recent giveaway. And that brush is on its way to Christian Ortleb over in Germany. So Christian, let us know when you receive that brush. We are waiting for photos and a report that it reached your doorstep in good condition. So thanks again, Charles. Really, really do appreciate it. 10 fluid ounces, 30 minutes checked in, and he wrote, Dave's soap bowl cleaning question. I'm like Dave. I either scoop or scrape a quantity of soap and spread flat onto the bottom of a bowl and load all of it into a moistened brush. I had started a few years ago with a puck of soap in a tub or a bowl, but I can't take the care I want for the soap that way. Not so easy to know the quantity of soap for a shave either. Well, you know what? I'm the opposite. I like to do a nice, healthy brush load, whether I have a puck in a bowl or I've got a tub of soap and I'm going to transfer that brush load over to a shaving bowl or even do a face lather. I really prefer doing brush loads. Now, I have scraped and scooped, and I don't mind doing that. It's just that when I'm doing a brush load, I can gauge it a little bit better. 10 fluid ounces, 30 minutes, gauges scraping and scooping a little better when he's creating a lather. You know what? Your face, your rules. Whatever works for you, that's what you go with. So thanks very much for sharing that with us this morning. 10 fluid ounces, 30 minutes. Really do appreciate it. Brian McCarthy, 1322 writes, thanks for another amusing and educational 3MB, Mark. November at last. Time to get to those heavier scented soaps and splashes. Have you tried Paraso Wooden Spice? The scent reminds me of my youth as an altar boy with reminiscence of incense. Taylor of Old Bond Street's Tobacco Leaf and Trumper's Eucharist are other scent bombs. Brian, I have never tried Paraso's Wooden Spice. Never tried it. It sounds wonderful. So there you go, folks. 3 great scent bombs, shave soaps for your shave den. Paraso Wooden Spice, Taylor of Old Bond Street's Tobacco Leaf, and Trumper's Eucharist. That's spelled capital E-U-C-R-I-S. So give those a look. And Brian, thanks very much for the recommendations. Really do appreciate it. Viewer Bart Buzz writes, hi, Mark. Lots of good shaving tips and info this week. Regarding the review of Viking's Revolution Spiced Vanilla Shaving Cream, I was surprised by the reviewer's negative experience. I have used Viking Revolution shaving creams, except for the spiced vanilla, and they have always created a great lather either in the bowl or on my face. I've never had any issues with the lathers dissipating either. I am curious if other shavers have experienced poor lathering results. Hopefully, that particular tub of spiced vanilla shaving cream came from a bad batch. I also recall sending in a link for their sandalwood shaving cream that you highlighted in a previous Monday morning mailbag. Hey, thanks for reminding us of that. I'm going to have to go through my notes and find that. I do recall that now, so thank you for reminding us of their sandalwood shaving cream. You know what? We have a follow-up on this. Stay tuned later on the show. I believe it's in questions and comments. You'll learn a little bit more of what happened regarding David Dart and Viking Revolution and spiced vanilla shaving cream and all that other good stuff. We'll give you an update on that. So Bart, thanks very, very much for confirming that Viking Revolution makes a really, really good shaving cream. Really, really do appreciate that. This comes from Bald Grimbarian Shaver. I hope I pronounced that correctly. Bald Grimbarian Shaver. Shave gear deals. Blackland Razors are doing 30% off all month for their 10-year anniversary. I bought the Blackbird in stain, saving 46 pounds. Absolute no-brainer. Thought I'd share with you guys if you didn't already know. I didn't know. Thanks very much for passing this along. Really do appreciate it. Folks, get up to Blackland Razors, 30% off all month. And he left this comment last week, so that's the entire month of November. Bald Grimbarian Shaver, thank you very much for that update. Really, really do appreciate it. Lee Hazley, 2164, checked in. Harkening back to the comments on shave sticks, I went full-on shave stick last week with perfect results each and every time. I used my Hazlinger Ringel Blumen Puck as a stick, Palmolive Wilkinson Sword, Phoenix Shavings Diver Down, and Master Soap Creations Musk. I am not usually a face latherer, but I got an absolutely perfect shave 5 days in a row. This has piqued my interest in more sticks. A few that are on my list are Lotoha, Lee, and Mastio Miche. Now that's spelled Masteo Miche. Mastio Miche. I think I pronounced that correctly. Feel free to correct me below if I got it wrong. Wishing you and all the viewers and their loved ones a wonderful week to come. Lee, that's absolutely fantastic to hear. Yeah, we like using shave sticks as well. And I'm going to try the Lee and the Mastio Miche. I'm going to try to find those as well. And Master Soap Creations Musk. And Wilkinson Sword, they make a shave stick too. Wow, that is, that's terrific. I have Phoenix Shavings Diver Down shave stick. I love Phoenix Shavings Diver Down. I love that scent. So I have it in a shave stick, and I don't think I have used it yet. I have it set aside for travel. I'm going to grab it. I'm going to get a shave done with it. So Lee, thanks very much for all that great feedback regarding building a lather with shave sticks. Thank you again very, very much. Andrew Witt, 7090 writes, Subtle Art Soap makes some awesome soaps. Joe's Draconis line of products is top-notch. Have a great week. Andrew, thanks so much for confirming that. We sampled Draconis last week. They sent along a little sample of it. It's a marvelous scent. And the maple bourbon we have is a triple buttered soap. So again, we're going to talk about a little more in New Wet Shave Gear. I'm really looking forward to the shave, so stay tuned. Thanks very much, Andrew. Ken Williams, 2219, writes, I used an old Cella red plastic shave soap bowl to save my used blades. Can't see them on my shelf. Well, this falls in line with the previous shaving tip where it was suggested that a Parasso pre-shave jar, which you can see, because it's glass, you can put all your old blades in there. And this is another great one. Ken, use an old Cella red plastic shaving soap bowl or any of those Cella shaving soap bowls. Well, I'm thinking Parasso. I'm sorry, Parasso. You could probably use a Parasso bowl as well. Parasso, Cella. Cella has two, a red one and a green one. The green one is their vegan formula. The red one is their tallow formula. So either one will work. They're both the same size, different formula shave soaps inside. Ken, great suggestion. And also, yeah, maybe even a Parasso bowl with the lid clicks on there. That'll work really well too. So Ken, thanks very much for that. Really do appreciate it. Stan Chapman writes, great 3MB, Mark. I use Viking Revolution shave cream on occasion as it is great stuff. I bowl lather it with water, add 10 drops of glycerin, and then a little more water for a great creamy texture. Stan, thanks very, very much for that. Really do appreciate it. We're going to be doing a little bit of follow-up in questions and comments regarding Viking Revolution. And we heard from them. I'll just tease it a little bit there. We heard from them, so we'll give you an update regarding that whole situation with David Dart not having a very, very good shave or lather from their spiced vanilla shaving cream. But Stan, thanks again for confirming how wonderful the Viking Revolution shaving creams are. Really, really do appreciate it. And that wraps up this week's refill segment. My thanks to everyone who contributed. Really do appreciate it. We'll do it again next week. Okay, let's check out some new wet shaving gear. Well, if you caught last Friday's review, you learned that Phoenix Shaving just dropped their brand new Doppelgänger Continuum 4. Boy, is this a marvelous scent. It's an homage to Gucci Pour Homme 2. This is terrific. Oh, I love this one. This is great. This is really a marvelous, marvelous scent. And as they write on the product page, welcome to our latest Doppelgänger Continuum 4, an homage to Gucci Pour Homme 2. And note, the time of this release is not accidental. Continuum 4 is about as autumn as a fine fragrance can get. A bona fide fall olfactory unicorn. The fact that this scent was discontinued truly confounds me. So let's get into it. Here's the scent profile. Top notes are bergamot and violet leaf. Heart notes are black tea, cinnamon, and pimento. Base notes are tobacco leaf, olive wood, myrrh, and musk. A silky refined blend of cool tea and warm spice, Continuum 4 opens with fresh bergamot and green violet leaf before unfolding into a sophisticated swirl of black tea, a kiss of cinnamon, and pimento. The dry down rests on soft tobacco leaf, smooth olive wood, and resinous myrrh, creating an elegant, meditative fragrance that just feels special. I personally get an infectious, effervescent note in this blend that keeps me returning to the bottle throughout the workday or taking a whiff of my wrist when no one is looking, not that I care. So note, it's more than just a tea-forward scent. It's addictive. Doppelgänger Continuum 4, a tea-spiced, a time-traveling, super spy scent. Trust me, boy, this is a good one. I'll let you get up to the product page and read all about it in its entirety. This is terrific. So they kicked off this series with Doppelgänger Continuum number 1, which was an homage to Chanel's Cœur de Russie. Doppelgänger Continuum number 2 was an homage to Green Valley by Creed. That was marvelous. Doppelgänger Continuum 3 was an homage to Gucci Noble, Nobile. They called it a noble endeavor inspired by Gucci Noble. And now Doppelgänger Continuum 4, an homage to Gucci Pour Homme 2. Boy, this is terrific. Oh, this is marvelous. I plan on wearing this for Thanksgiving dinner. Yes. Oh, yeah. This is fantastic. Oh, really, really like this one a lot. So check it out from Phoenix Shaving. They just released it this past weekend. Doppelgänger Continuum 4, an homage to Gucci Pour Homme 2. My gosh, check it out because they wrap up here by saying Gucci discontinued Pour Homme 2 nearly a decade ago, and in doing so created a cult following. Today, original bottles fetch $300 to $500 on the gray market, if you can even find one. But like every entry in the Doppelgänger Continuum, this release isn't about chasing hype, it's about preserving artistry and history. Now we invite you to partake once again in the continuing history of this masterly crafted scent, Shave On. Yeah, why try to find a bottle of Gucci Pour Homme 2 for $300 to $500 per bottle, if you can find one, when you've got Doppelgänger Continuum 4 right here? This is marvelous and at a great price point. Check it out. We'll have links below. And don't forget the aftershave splash. Well, we have a new shave soap and splash from Phoenix Shaving to share with you. Yeah, another new shave soap and splash from Phoenix Shaving. Here it is right here, folks. The Chailight Zone. And for those of you who are listening to the audio-only podcast, that's spelled capital CHAILIGHT, the Chailight Zone. And check out the font on that label there. Very, very reminiscent of a very famous and favorite television show. We'll get into it in just a moment. Here's what Doug, Fran, and everyone at Phoenix Shaving have to say about the Chailight Zone. Chailight Zone, a new seasonal scent, a dimension of festive fur and spice, a dimension of warmth, a dimension of not only scent and sensation, but of lather and leisure. It is an area which we call the Chailight Zone. The Chailight Zone, that smoky midnight cafe that materializes somewhere nestled in a fir tree forest along the foggy west coast edge of the PAA universe every holiday season. You can't find it on any map, but if you wander far enough past reality, you might catch the faint hum of a theremin and the clink of a coffee spoon against a diner mug. Inside, the lighting is dim, the chatter's strange, and the regulars even stranger. On any given night, you might spot Cube floating near the counter watching, Saint Germain scribbling formulas on a napkin, Aldous lost in deep conversation with D.B. Cooper, and yes, even Rod Serling himself calmly observing and taking note of the absurdities of existence over a steaming mug of something spicy and dark. An homage? If it isn't obvious by now, the Chailight Zone cast a long hypnotic shadow over everything we do here at Phoenix Shaving. Its fingerprints are all over our universe, our stories, our sense of humor. But why release this particular blend as a festive seasonal scent, you ask? Well, my dear Shave Cadets, here's the twist ending. Rod Serling was born on Christmas Day. How about that? This is a marvelous, marvelous scent for the holidays. This is terrific. Here's the scent profile. Top notes are orange peel, bergamot, peppercorn, cardamom, powder, and amaretto. Middle notes are ginger, anise, nutmeg, and tonka. Base notes are fir, honey, rum, musk, and oud. Boy, this is a good one. This is perfect for the holiday season. Wow, this really is terrific. It drops this weekend, so check it out. The Chailight Zone from Phoenix Shaving. They wrap up here by saying, where the weird belongs in a world that seems more and more like an episode of The Twilight Zone, we thought it might be best to try and contain the strange where it can do no harm in a cafe in the PAA universe. All problems solved. Another fun fact, in Hindi, Kai actually means tea. So when you say Kai tea, you're technically saying tea. But who cares about semantics when your shave den suddenly smells like Rod Serling's favorite after-hours cafe, where the barista moonlights as a philosopher and the air hums with otherworldly possibility. And sitar, lots of sitar. Blame the oud? How about that? Recommended watching The Twilight Zone, The Night of the Meek, Season 2. So there you go. From Phoenix Shaving, the Chailight Zone. We're going to get a review done on this. This is perfect for the coming holiday season. Get this one this weekend. It is a marvelous, marvelous festive scent. No doubt about it. Oh, this is a good one. I like this one a lot. Really looking forward to doing the review and getting that posted for you. Check it out from Phoenix Shaving, the Chailight Zone. We'll have a link when it becomes available. Well, we want to do a follow-up on these beautiful Shave of the Day 3D printed stands that Charles Smith provided. Actually, he provided the prints on Thingiverse. And viewer Donald Lyons contacted the channel and wrote, "Hey Mark, during your Ohio meetup segment on a recent Monday Morning Mailbag, an attendee gave you a very cool Shave of the Day soap stand. Again, that was Charles Smith, fellow wet shaver and a wonderful friend of the channel. Donald continues here, I'd enjoy owning a couple of these, but haven't found a link. Any info would be appreciated. Again, Charles Smith made the 3D plans available on Thingiverse. We will, again, have that link below so you can check it out. And we provided that link to Donald. He wrote back and wrote, Hi, Mark. Thanks for that link. I had 2 custom large stands printed by a local professional this week, and they turned out great. Check out the picture attached. I think the red on black looks just outstanding. I left the shave on verbiage on the base in black. That said, the sky's the limit on color combinations. Also, customers can add their name or something else instead of the shave on in the original file. There are lots of online 3D printers out there. However, I can attest to the professionalism and fantastic work of the provider I used here in Oregon. Everything can be done online, and I'm sure he'd love a few referrals. I'd be happy to provide detailed referral information upon request. Again, thanks. And that's from Donald Lyons. And we emailed Donald back, and we'll get that referral link for you below. It might be buried in email someplace, but we're going to email him again and get that link for you below. Yeah, these are great. A big, big thank you to Charles Smith for providing these to many of the participants and attendees at the Ohio Wet Shavers Meetup. He made sure that the channel got one. These are great. Here's how it works. Right there, Shave of the Day stand. We're going to take the Chailight Zone, and you can just display your Shave of the Day shave soap tub right there, or shave cream tub like that. How about that? Isn't that great? That's fantastic. Really, really terrific. And again, the plans are available on Thingiverse, created by Charles Smith. We will have that link below. A big, big thank you to Charles Smith for making that available to everybody in the wet shaving community. And a big thank you to Donald Lyons for confirming how great this stand is. And again, we'll get that referral link to the 3D printer that Donald used. Donald, thanks again very, very much. Viewer Rob Bruno sent along this heads up, and he writes, Hi, Mark. Has anyone noticed that Rex Supply is now sold on Amazon? And that's from Rob Bruno in Vegas. Check it out, folks. Rex Supply shaving gear now available on Amazon.com. How about that? That's absolutely fantastic. So check it out. Just get up to Amazon and search for Rex Supply, and the Rex Supply product line and store will come right up. Rob, thanks very, very much for the heads up. Really do appreciate it. So for the past 2 to 3 weeks on the Second Cup podcast and also here on the Monday Morning Mailbag show, we've been talking about the Subtle Art Soap Company, and we have their Maple Bourbon Triple Butter Shave Soap. How about that? Isn't that fantastic? This is an absolutely wonderful scent. And every time I open it up, I'll get the bourbon first, and then, I'll open it again, and the maple scent comes through first. It is just wonderfully combined. And we talked about Joe, the owner, and he was having some issues with his shoulder. He had some surgery, and now he's in recovery and rehab. And he and his wife, Sadie, are plugging along, filling those orders. So give him a little time because, again, Joe's shoulder, he's in rehab with his shoulder and recovery and that sort of thing. They make a fantastic, fantastic scented shave soap. This is wonderful. And other viewers have let us know how much they love their shave soaps and their scents. And this is a great scent. So we're going to get a review done on this. Now, I've waited to see when the Aftershave Splash was restocked. And it was recently restocked. So we went ahead and ordered that. And it arrived on my doorstep. How about that? Check it out. And look how they wrapped that up. I did not open it. I wanted to show you how they wrapped that in plastic so very well. No cracks, no leaks, very well packaged and protected, and arrived intact on my doorstep. So now we have both the triple butter shave soap and the aftershave splash maple bourbon. We're going to get a review done. Really looking forward to reviewing this. And Joe and Sadie also very kindly sent along maple bourbon bar soap. How about that, huh? So I think we're going to shower with this first and then use the shave soap and the aftershave splash. Really excited about that. Thank you, Joe and Sadie. Really, really appreciate that. And they also sent along a sample of leather tobacco. Check this one out. This one is great. This is really good. We talked about, in the refill segment, scent bombs. Boy, this is great. This is right up there with some of the scents that were mentioned. Oh, man. We talked about leaf tobacco scents and that sort of thing. Wooden spice, This scent, this is called leather tobacco. This is marvelous. I'm going to do a review of this one as well. This is terrific. And of course, in the first shipment with the shave soap, they very, very kindly sent Night Out and Draconis. Boy, is this a great scent. And they also have a variation of that called Draconis Noctum. So Draconis Noctum, Draconis, and also Night Out. All of these are great, great scents. My thanks to Joe and Sadie for very kindly sending along the soap samples. Thanks very much for sending along the soap bar that came with the aftershave splash. And they also sent along with that shave soap shipment some Astra razor blades. So really, really wonderful, wonderful artisan. Really, really appreciate the time and effort you put into shipping these items to the channel. I understand, you're going through some recovery and rehab on your shoulder. So, hope you're pressing through that. And it looks like they are, because they are shipping these items in a really, really good, timely fashion. So if you order something, give them a couple extra days to get those items shipped to you as they kind of work their way through the rehab and recovery phase of Joe's shoulder. So again, my thanks to Joe and Sadie for very, very kindly getting to the channel in a good, timely fashion. Understandably so, given the circumstances, of the maple bourbon triple butter shave soap and the maple bourbon aftershave splash. Really do appreciate it. And also, thanks very much for sending along the other samples. That was very, very nice of you folks. Subtle Art Soap Company, give them a look. We'll have the link below. And that wraps up this week's look at new wet shaving gear. My thanks to everyone who contributed. Really do appreciate it. We'll do it again next week. Okay, let's check out some of these questions and comments. This comes from John Shaves 101 from across the pond. John, great to hear from you. And the subject heading of his email reads, Guy Fawkes. Hi, Mark. Me again. Laugh out loud. I'm off work this week for Guy Fawkes night, and I get to watch the 3MB at home. Woohoo! I just thought I'd share a little bit of what happens on November the 5th, Guy Fawkes or Bonfire Night. This is the day on 1605 when the gunpowder plot was foiled, a plot by Guy Fawkes to blow up the House of Lords, and it's commemorated every 5th of November. A life-size effigy of Guy is either placed on the top of the fire or thrown on halfway through to much cheers and jeers, all in good fun. Old English staples are served like potato pie, black peas, and Parkin. I wait all year for Parkin, laugh out loud. It's a wonderful warm cake made with oats, spice, ginger, and black treacle. I snagged a loaf to enjoy this week and had some watching the Monday Morning Mailbag with a cut of Queen Elizabeth II 40th anniversary tea. It has to be tea with Parkin, Mark. I sent you a couple of pictures because I know, like me, you enjoy a treat now and then. Happy 5th, Mark, and remember the 5th of November, gunpowder, treason, and plot. Wow. John, thank you so much for sharing that with all the viewers. Parkin sounds incredible, especially the oats and ginger. I'm not familiar with black treacle. I believe that's how it's pronounced, but thanks to Copilot AI, I found this information. Black treacle is a dark, thick syrup similar to molasses, known for its rich, bittersweet flavor. In British baking, it's often used to deepen the taste and color of cakes like Parkin, which is especially popular in northern England around November 5th. The treacle adds a distinctive depth that pairs perfectly with ginger and spice, making it ideal for autumnal treats. Wow, that sounds amazing. It sounds so delicious. John, thank you so much for sharing with all the viewers. I don't know if we have Parkin here in the States. I'm going to look around and see if I can find a bakery that offers Parkin. It sounds wonderful. John, thank you so much. I hope you had a great time on your week off, and I hope you enjoyed the festivities of November 5th. And again, thank you so much for sharing Parkin and all the other great treats that arrive in the first week of November. Thanks again, John. And we will link John's shaving channel on YouTube, John Shaves 101 below, so you can check out John's channel. John, thanks again very, very much. Well, earlier in the show, we promised you an update on the Viking Revolution shave cream situation that David Dart ran into. And we heard from John Velarde of Viking Revolution, and he wrote the following: "Hi, Mark. Thanks for reaching out to us. We appreciate you sharing the feedback from one of your viewers. There is definitely a high chance that the customer had received a bad batch or may have applied the product incorrectly. We do definitely rectify any issues with products or orders, so if you do get the chance to communicate with your viewer again, please let him know that we're more than happy to assist him with the concern. If there's anything else we could do for you, please let us know. Have a good one. Best, John at Viking Revolution Customer Care." Now, what I did was I forwarded this to David Dart, and David Dart wrote back and said, "Mark, good afternoon. I received an email from John at Viking Revolution. He said if I email him my address, I could either get my money back or a replacement tub of spiced vanilla shaving cream. I chose another tub of shaving cream because I really liked the scent. I'm pleased that he is willing to try and make things right. When I get it, I'll have a shave and send you another review. Hopefully a good one this time. Fingers crossed. Have a great day." And that's from David Dart. So David, when you receive it, do another review and let us know how it works out for you. In the meantime, I'm going to investigate it myself, see if I can't get a tub of it, get it in the shave den, and see what kind of shaving experience I'll have with the Viking Revolution spiced vanilla shave cream. And if you out there have used a Viking Revolution spiced vanilla shave cream, please comment below and let us know, or feel free to send in your very own review as well. So thanks to David Dart for the update, and also thanks to John Velarde at Viking Revolution for taking care of this situation. Folks, we'll update you again down the road, so stay tuned. Well, for the past few weeks, we've been talking about a brand new shaving brush from Phoenix Shaving, and it's called the Moon Stryker. This is an absolutely marvelous, marvelous shaving brush. And viewer Ron Wright received his Moon Stryker, and he sent along the following comments. "Good morning, Mark. My Moon Stryker brush finally arrived this past Monday. And as promised in the comment section of the show a couple of weeks ago, here are my thoughts on the new PAA Moon Stryker brush. The obvious thing is I love the look. As you can see in the one picture, I have a vintage boar brush from Stanley Home Products that is similar in style. Not the same brush Doug used as the inspiration for the Moon Stryker, but close. And I love that little Stanley. I also attached a picture of it alongside the PAA Peregrino and Amber Aerolite, so anyone who has either of those can have a good visual on the size. Performance-wise, I really like it. I have quite a few vintage boar brushes in my collection that I use regularly, and the backbone of the Moon Stryker is like that of one of those boars. Yet, the tips are softer like the Peregrino and Amber Aerolite. What a wonderful combination. I used the Moon Stryker with a variety of hard and softer soaps this week, and it lathered as well as the other PAA brushes. And as to how it feels in the hand, comfortable and secure in the grip. Overall, the Moon Stryker is a winner. I don't know how he does it, but Doug just keeps knocking it out of the park with his products on all points. Thanks again for all you do for the wet shaving community. And that comes from viewer Ron Wright. Ron absolutely loves his Moon Stryker shaving brush. I love the Moon Stryker shaving brush. It's great for bowl lathering. It's great for face lathering. It has an absolutely wonderful grip. Yeah, check it out. Folks, we'll have a link to it below from Phoenix Shaving, the Moon Stryker shaving brush. Ron, thanks again for sending along those wonderful comments. Really do appreciate it. Well, as you know, recently we've been talking about Tabac here in the Monday Morning Mailbag because we've had a discussion on shave sticks, and I mentioned that Tabac also comes as a shave stick. And of course, all of you know that there is a new formula of Tabac. They went from tallow to a vegan formula, and a lot of viewers have asked me about reviewing the vegan formula Tabac, and the problem was anytime I ordered Tabac online, I was getting the tallow formula sent to me, and I guess they had a lot of it in stock. Well, I finally ordered the vegan formula Tabac, and I got the vegan formula Tabac. Here it is right here. Right here, here it is, and the ingredients on the back label, we'll put that on screen so you can see it, indeed shows that it's the vegan formula. Nowhere in the ingredients list does it say tallowate or tallow or anything like that. So I know I've got the vegan formula. So we are going to get a review of this done, and we'll also do a comparison review with our tallow formula Tabac. And again, we got the jar and the lid and everything, the whole bit, so we can do a comparison between, the new vegan formula jar and the older tallow-based jar that we have. And again, you can see it's brand new. And I mean, even though there's a gold wrapper on top, that wonderful Tabac scent comes right through. And the scent is identical to what I've experienced with the tallow version. Boy, is that great. So really looking forward to using this, reviewing it, and also comparing it to the tallow version. So yeah, that's something that I'm very, very happy that I finally got the tallow version. We'll just leave it out of the box right now for the time being because I want to show you something else. This was a wonderful surprise from viewer James Sefton. I've never used it before. Now that we have it, we're going to use it with Tabac. Here it is, Tabac Aftershave. James, thank you very, very much. So now when we review the new vegan formula Tabac, we'll have the aftershave with it. And also for the tallow version. Absolutely fantastic. Look how big this box is. My gosh. It says 10.1 fluid ounces, 300 milliliters right there in the box. And check out this bottle. It is marvelous. It looks gorgeous. I'm not kidding you. Check that out. Look at that. Isn't that marvelous? Let me put the box over here. Look at that. Same wonderful milk white glass that the bowl comes in. Isn't that fantastic? And it's got a really nice, large, generous cap on top that unscrews. Look at that. Isn't that? That is really wonderful. Look at the size of that cap. And there it is, a beautiful plastic restrictor there. Isn't that great? Really, really marvelous. And oh yeah, that's the marvelous Tabac scent. Oh man, that is great. I am really, 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 really looking forward to using this and wrapping up the Tabac shaves with Tabac Original Aftershave Lotion. Look at that. That is terrific. I've never used it before. But again, look how great these items look side by side. This is going to look great on your shaved end counter, on my shaved end counter. Look at that. That is just that look alone is marvelous. It's just going to look great in your shaved in. Wow. Put this down on the counter with your razor and your blades right there. Oh man, that's a great shave of the day photo right there. Yeah, absolutely fantastic. Wow. So a big thank you to James Sefton. What a wonderful surprise for sending along Tabac Original Aftershave Lotion. Thank you so much, James. Really do appreciate it. And finally, we have Tabac in the new vegan formula. We'll get a review done and we'll be able to follow up with Tabac Aftershave Lotion. How about that? Folks, we'll have links to both of these below. James, thanks again very much. And that wraps up another Monday Morning Mailbag. Thanks so much for tuning in again. I really do appreciate it. Please share, please subscribe, please like. Hit that bell so it'll give you a yell the next time I upload a video. Comment below. Let me know. Check out all the wonderful artisan soap makers and sellers that you see displayed on the bottom of the screen right now. They make and offer some wonderful artisan shave soap. They also offer some wonderful wet shaving gear to enhance your traditional wet shave. The next time you're online, please take a moment, pay them a visit. I sure would appreciate it. Thank you very much. Also, check out my Amazon product page at amazon.com/shop/MarkZerati, where you'll find all the Amazon listed products that I review on this channel, organized and categorized so you can find everything in a snap very easily. I'll leave you with this laugh. Hey, we have another double take cartoon puzzle this week. Try to find the differences between the two cartoon panels. If you need more time, just pause the video, or try to find all the differences before time runs out. Thanks very much for tuning in again. I really do appreciate it. Make it a great week.